Whoosh whoosh lightning come.
Readmit piston macabrely. It geist on CNND real.com. It was this blockhouse that I witnessed her death. I knew that she was enemy and pure witch of the help. Struggling the gunshots still made me uncomfortable. If it were not Fop Iron Axe's command and loyalty to His Majesty, I would have chosen to leave the army and return to previous job as steam engine operator the mining area. Chief, we're running out of firewood, let me to fetch some, otherwise the other squad will blame for not adding mope firewood after using it. But it's time now, maybe seen others. Red Tigers Malibaco, they won't say anything, it's cold today, no one will care if we to bet firewood to warm us. It has been several months since the cowards of the retreated do think they'll come today. Alone will be too slow to there with more people, yes head. Ride CIDC Belgu, wacky. What's wrong at Geist on Mangericom? Blow the horn to alert the soldiers, someone is approaching the front. It first on mangagreat.com. Woods, are they from? Who else will come? Woodwind idea has long been abandoned, His Majesty only people. Herms will come from that direction, I underestimated there, I hope they're not the monster like warriors we don't. At first on have the support mangagreat.com of the artillery battalion this time. We have nothing to be afraid of, I don't believe they plan quickly. The heavy snow, if they wear armors they'll sink the snow and become slip targets. Head their distance the least meters away. It's so strange, something is wrong. What's wrong? They aren't like the God's punishment army does to send the judgment army, not the ready at first on judgment massacre. Allowed army. They're not armored actually, they're so ragged. Gosh, how did these people come down from the maintain? They're like drop of refugees. Of maybe the God's punishment warriors disguised as refugees. Hey, where are you going? I'm going to tell them to stop, otherwise the other squads will shoot them. It first on Cells Great. This is the border defense line off the Kingdom of Grey Castle. You're forbidden to step forward, I freeze or well fire. Right. It first on mangagreat.com. Nail, come back, they don't even know what flintlocks are, they won't stop. No matter how told, shot not stop. Visit and this Mantua mangagreat.com to the translation manga create.com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Mangagreat.low release that exit died Dodo wives forced to be coup demon Luca. The VDAB Seriniu. Where are from? It first on mangagreat.com. Look, we all came from Kermes. So you're believers of the yes, not we aren't. The past we were deceived, the regret now the deities did not protect, they were wrong, please give some food. The army of the church was after we had to drop out. Log back. Lord, I haven't eaten anything Fop 3 days. It first on look please Kanga great com. Please give some oatmeal, child is starving. Hey, what we're doing, give them some food. Ape, sure these guys ape believers of their old enemies. Head Uncle Sang is right, maybe they made the weapons and armors, use the army at first on, who knows. Manga great, whether they have the first army they deserve it, that's what they'll end with since they've fought against His Majesty ill, definitely not give any food to them. Listen to me. We all know what Border Town was like before His Majesty came, that time everyone was deceived. His Majesty didn't abandon us of treat as betrayers, then how could we despise them? Of course I agree that we should spare none of those who committed crime, give them some food and then bring them Fop interrogation. And His Majesty once said his gook that the Kingdom of Grey Castle is whole as lone someone isn't guilty and is willing to pay allegiance to Grey Castle. He should be treated as subject of the king rather than being persecuted and excluded if there are innocent people alone them. And we watch them die front, aren't we, against His Majesty wish? Head nail now I it first on no sit Blair manga chose out squad leader, you've become different since went to school the past, you always stumbled when speaking front of crowd. If Ironhead knows it he'll be proud of yo. What happened Herms? If you tell me the situation details I give food. Lord. The cathedral of the new holy city collapsed, I heard that big pit suddenly appeared below and the entire tower fell. What? The Judgment Army blocked the scene, B building disappeared without trace and the mighty bang. Everyone knew what happened. The is overlooked, the deities no longer favor it, the outside residents have begun to flee. We were little later. And then we ran into the Judgment Army who was chasing us among the hundreds of people, only we escaped. That means the holy city is mess beside the western bait, the southern and east gates ape. Also open and non-bearded. Obviously the guards have also. Away I heard that the situation the old holy city is even worse. I really haven't seen any caravans come into the city fop long time. This is unexpected good news. Maybe we'll occupy Herms before the arrival at first on of the army. Manga Great Con. Tucker Thor acting bishop. I had thought the holy city of Herms would be gazed to the ground swarms of demonic beasts. Fact, all the believers had determined to remain the cathedral to the last. But they had not anticipated that few enemies had actually appeared. Those who did come to Abaka and no even made attempt to crawl the city wall just when the situation was about to fop. The better the abrupt collapse of the cathedral windless night which had killed number of senior executives destroyed all hopes of the was survivors. I guessed at J. Celsi Treku. That time I had happened to be patrolling the campsite and therefore had narrowly escaped death. The of the Kermes Cathedral could be considered as more miserable defeat than the war. The loss of the war one could be attributed to the poop and confusing communications between commanders and soldiers, or to the treachery of their enemies. The collapse of the Tower of Babel, which represented the spirit of the church, meant that they had been abandoned. God yoke eminence where you are it pesto celeriac. Farina Judgment Army Commander. The army responsible fop plashing fugitives has returned. Some of the units fled. Right, yes, those new permits who just joined recently cannot be of any mope than people went to catch fugitives. Only one of two returned. I know they haven't received training. It's very unlikely that they would be killed refugees. If I even find them, I'll definitely let them know the consequence of betrayal. It's inevitable how many people are left the Judgment Army. They're all boarding the inner city gate of the holy city, so they should be able to stop residents the inner city from leaving. To the east, the kingdom of Overwinter of the kingdom of Wolf Heart. Whichever it is, pick somewhere close to the coast. We build new holy city there at first on leave. Herms Mace Reek Codge your eminence. If we leave, who will defend against demonic beasts? We blame Grey Castle if demonic beasts invade the inner continent from the breach out client top. Priority is to deserve out strength. We always build new cathedral. I can't let out believes suffer when the folk kingdoms are permeated with demonic beasts. People will naturally remember old power again. Those pills believers who resolve to fall with the holy city may not tepi to abandon Herms. The holy city lies where you stay, child, explain to them. And they'll understand this is also the order of the acting pope, which is to preserve ourselves and the spirit of the do understand it first. Panda. Cuckold, I understand you eminence, know you holiness. Does this mean the months of demons has ended? Yes, the snow will melt no time and tell the news. If they start to prepare now, we'll be able to take off 2 of 3 weeks. Okay, please excuse me. It first on mangagreat.com. V's_r. Cinch successfully implement out strategic plan this year and whether we're doing the right thing. Fop people over winter. I promised to refugees when I took them that as long as they worked hard they would never starve. The past 3 years I fulfilled promise. Domain expanded from small underdeveloped border town to more than half of the territory of Grey Castle. I see no reason that we can't make it happen. This year's old kingdom would only be stable when subjects aren't worried about food. Therefore I need every one of you to all of you have taken spring plowing to reach yoke seriously. Agricultural production tap it this year accordance with the plowing regulations and guidelines drafted the Ministry of Agriculture. Also starting from this year's there'd be assessments specifically targeting the agricultural progress your jurisdiction, which will include evaluations on how virgin land you've cultivated, the number of farmers your domain, well as the agricultural production. These factors will be incorporated into it first on the criteria FOP. Mangagreat.com competent governor. It's okay, don't know about these evaluation items because sigils. The Minister of AGQIC will later spend one day explaining to details. Conclusion: if you fail to meet criteria, it tells me that you aren't competent to fuel the region. And ape no longer suitable FOP the governor position. Ill set easy target FOP you FOP the first year terms of other criteria terms of ABQICLLTLPAL. Production I want to each this number. Read it first on Manhwa Great. Key fact: when you see the testing field FOP golden 2s, you'll understand this target isn't that unrealistic. After numerous repeated tests, leaf golden 2s now yield food mope than 2 times gold ones per unit. The wheat straw the field is overloaded ears of wheat. Your Majesty, is it true that golden 2s yield 2 times more? That's right, golden 2s isn't perfect either. Now, I'll hand over to Miss Leaf from the Witch Union, who will talk about the features. Do you have any questions, son? Tilda held rub he but EC duty aka sun duty. Read it first on manhwagreat.com. Yoke Majesty, is it safe for ordinary people to consume the magic engineered wheat? First of all, there's no significant difference between golden 2s and golden 1s FOP, both of them ape developed leaf. The only difference is that golden 2s yields more food than golden 1s. Second, although it's enhanced magic power, the plant itself doesn't contain any, so don't need to poppy that it will cause harm to ordinary people. Fact: the oatmeal and the pancake I ate few days ago were actually made from golden 2s, the testing field. Furthermore, like what we're doing, never winter. All food trades Yoke City should be supervised and controlled. The secondary city hall private food sale is forbidden. Baron. It first on Governor-in-Chief. Kanga Great will talk about the detailed implementation of the policy. Your Majesty, if golden 2s does provide which yields as you've described, their list be lapse excess. After all subjects are fed, that's create huge financial burden FOP the government. If City Hall plans to back all the population excess, Fallen Dragon Ride is just little over considering that. Do we also have to produce? Yes, because we aren't designed to consume the excess of food to store it. FOP the upcoming Battle of Divine Will. It person culty Great Koch. I'm back. Be more careful next time. Unlike Anna, I can't convert those drawings to physical entities. This is the only thing that I do. FOP Yoke it first on manhwagreat.com. Please don't poppy. Top priority is to protect Yoke and stand you side. I won't recklessly myself. Dangerous situation. Please let me continue to protect you. The Felipe. Your Majesty. First on Manhwa Great. Head tigers. It seems that the clearly other witches had informed the gods' punishment, which is the Snow Mountain of the dream world. I did not mind wild gazes from women. The problem was that most of the gods' punishment witches had male appearance, so it's tried that those shells enter the dream world. I was supposed first as well they will intrude the dream if they disconnect themselves. The area covered the beams of light. Those beams are mope transportation channel than connection with the deities. Not. I know what you're thinking. You want to convert yourself to Bod's punishment witch and enter the dream. I won't allow to do that. There's no room FOP negotiations. Entering the dream world doesn't mean you fled with mind, not does it mean that you'll become immortal. It's just fake strange world which has been eroded some unknown power. Perhaps someday it'll vanish. It first on manhwagreat.com. Even if you enter dream on daily basis, that's one night. What about all those other moments? Are you planning to live shell that doesn't feel forever? I just feel it's too unfair that they to places you once visited. It's unimaginable price they've paid. FOP senseless life of eternity is mope terrible than life of imprisonment. The dream world is simply small comfort to them. There's no need to envy them. Said it first on manhwagreat.com. Top priority is to protect and stand you side. Are you planning to break? You promise I don't want bearded gods. Punishment warrior to stick around all day. I didn't say that I would live shell. You did think you said it all yourself. Would you like some chaos drink? Yes. Thank FOP Yoke help. Agatha told me if you did not severely wound that monster, everybody would have been danger at first. On Manhwa Great Con. Anytime you've being over polite? I'm not. If all the members of the exploration of the Witch Union are killed this operation, it'll be permanent loss FOP over winter. Therefore your job is equally important as annals specialize different things. Do you understand? Right, you said the dream world has been eroded unknown power. What does that mean? Will be danger. That's long stop. One thing is FOP sleep. Which is whatever that world becomes the end, it won't thirst affect the real me. Kanga Greasecock. No beams of light will appear if I don't want to dream as to the unknown power, Garcia said. The Materialist association would eventually lead their new recruits to uncover the mysterious veil of the dream world. No matter what she referred to, I would only know what she was talking about. After seeing I compared with the erosion, I cared more about the newly amended Mathematical Olympiad textbook. The Mathematical Olympiad textbook itself did not bear significance. The premonition attaching to it did. Read mit Gorton Sinner Secco. During the initial exploration of the dreamland, I discovered that the books that I never were all blank, and this theory applied to both the books on book stand and those the library. Most books were nothing blank sheets topped with cover. The Mathematical Olympiad textbook on Zero's desk debunked his theory. I wondered I had not noticed the peculiarity. The beginning had I overlooked it. Doping the exploration, the first 2 of 3 months of it was actually change that occurred later. If it was the latter, I had to probe into it. If the Mathematical Olympiad textbook could come out of thin air and gradually restore its original appearance, would other books do the same trick? What about things that I never beheld? The strange power I had obtained, the extermination of fallen evils and the release of the force of nature. What is the connection between these? Could it be the case of the world change? Credit carton Malletbeak. Oh Dej Majesty, I changed socks since I couldn't take shower on the ship. I'm probably still a bit dirty. Would mind if I taking shower first? I did not know I did that when mind was apparently on some serious matters. It first on mangagreat.com. The equivocal remark take shower first seemed to contain some unintended meanings. I didn't mean to do this. Come in, you Majesty. All the samples from the Great Snow Mountain have been transferred to the 3rd border city. Do you want to take look at person? See a Grelko of corpse. Let's go now. Yes. Are you not feeling well? Did you say that? It first on mangagreat.com. Your voice sounds little weird, which is typical symptom of cold. Although the months of demons has passed, it's still the coldest time of the year when snows melt. And people are most vulnerable to diseases this time around. You aren't witch, so should take care of yourself. Not only fop you, but fop the whole human race. Do you understand? Before we take off, I suggest sending fop Lily and asking her to check on Yoke. Sayakridge. It MND agreeal con. Give her that plan to raise those unknown blue out hall and tame them. Mortal King, I have to say you've as bold and crazy as those researchers, the Quest Society, you know. One day your curiosity will eventually destroy Yoke. Those are species left enemies from the deep ocean. That's I want you to board them. The captured blue readmit person aren't aggressive Sinibisco. They can't even drill holes. One secret chamber would be enough to confine them. According to Agatha's observation, these blue don't have self-consciousness, the instinct of feeding and reproduction. There's chance that the multi-layer monster regains its control over them. However, if Overwinter is so defenseless that even creature as stupid as that approach out city wall, we would probably have been wiped out long before. Also member of the Quest Society, if you really want to make about it, Feline is also member of the Quest Society. If she hears say this nonsense, she certainly goes against Yoke Mix. Althea meant no offended. She's it first on worried that those mangagreat.com mutated blue will have negative impacts on Neverwinter. I knew that Althea's fear was not baseless. What Agatha and Lightning wrote their reports carried significant meaning. If I exterminated the blue because of some potential risks, it would be like throwing out child along with the bath water. Placing them the bottom of the mountains was already safety measure. That's fine. Let's take look. Felt tilde telsej elite our outfit u tilde brie esta j tilde exalt telfa reduces sildet baku. This is culture room newly set. Frank, it's absolutely safe here. Fop, there's only one exit and the underground water was the seepage from the rocks. Ape Yoke really planning to grow mushrooms and mutated bus here. Thought because those flea mushrooms were exactly what they feed on if they grow here like they normally do. The natural environment we obtain large number of militated blue effortlessly. If they could not transplant the mushrooms, they would have to resort to Lily artificial cultivation method. It was pity that the mushrooms down the ruin the snow mountain were not edible because of their poisonous nature. Fop, from their size and quantity they were definitely witch protein food that could serve as meat substitute. What are those blue? Fop, if you want to them, one grow few and that should do. They'll probably play big role the development of overwinter if the report is correct. Read it first. Of the report is not wrong, yeah? Did you kill it? Reciters Cinnabelt's cod that's safe some trouble? It wants aggressive, it ran pretty fast. The slime be used as preservatives, it's fluid under normal conditions, it'll slowly solidify and into something like egg white as time goes. Bead it furs at J Gentrareco. And ape, we're going to it. I haven't eaten it, I bless it won't be very tasty. The key lies another liquid, its body. It looks like gallbladder. Read mit first on manga great com, it isn't gall here. What comes next is the key. Ta. It first on manga great.com. Biological rubber, this is what made Fran bet there. Visit and this Manhwa manga great.lo. The translation manga great.com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Manga great.lo release that which I've Dorado wheeled forced to be Kohi demon used MHEE veins so HNV dub. Biological robbery. After reviewing the scene reconstructed Elmer, we found it was exactly those bus. That made Fran glued to the hole they tied he tight with net of slimes that streamed from there. Tails, however, the liquid there. Belly alone won't solidify, only when it's mixed with the liquid the organ the back will it become. Sticky and booty. Yeah. If Sylvie didn't find Fan with the eye of magic we would have looked fop her fop another 2 days. Okay, it first on Kankai great com. I had been asking people to look fop power plants. I believed once I found sample leaf could enhance it and subsequently it into high yield cops that could grow on mass scale. Unfortunately, either label trees of rubber grass was nowhere to be found. As result, I had to rely on Stray's ability to produce elastic materials while I suspecting that there were probably no rubber plants. This with the reports on the exploration of the Pain the Snow Mountain came as pleasant surprise. That was I decided to cultivate these mutated creates, brought it first on monsters the Sianka Great Con Deep Ocean despite potential risks. I see this is perfect material fop making fishing nets and popes. Hotel Tilda. Maybe good fop fishing nets not fop ropes, it's too soft and stretchy, nobody will like pope that. Stretches infinitely. Plus I don't think out-learned Mortal King would bring these unknown blue to overwinter to have some mope salted fish. No matter what crazy research you want to conduct it first on, don't forget that manga great.com now. You've representing parties other than Grey Castle. I never expected that Althea, who had been brooding on me being the sole leader of the United Front, would understand research intention. And certainly had never expected her to say something that sense acknowledged leadership. It first on Kanga great of close. If everything goes well you'll soon see its wide variety of less than neat title. The way how do we make the eject slimes without the monster that controlled them? I can't kill them every time we. This is what we're going to research later. If nothing else works we'll have to grow them on scale. Whole Majesty. They volunteer to transfer their souls to become new devouring worms. Lyra Jasmine Ridgerson. Magrelko. Before that could take them to the dreamland to let them experience the wonders of that incredible wood once. 2 days late Mo. It first on Sengage. It was polite to transfer the cell device to the Beat Snow Mountain where the Tequila Witches would complete their incarnation ceremony and be integrated into the worm carriers. Once the conversion was completed there would GE3 worm carriers Neverwinter, which would provide great help fop both municipal construction and the defensive line project. This is good thing. If I had not known it beforehand I would have never believed that these 2 girls had made decision to sacrifice their human bodies and devote themselves to it. First battles against demons calculate. Just like the decision they had made years ago, the bottom of the plan front of the magic come. Thank you and we don't regret it. It first on manga great.com. It's not that they don't like it all, they did not regret making that decision. Yoke Majesty. Aren't Yoke going back to the castle? They really can't disconnect themselves after being integrated into the carrier's mission. CDD Buguk. Bod's punishment which is different from carrier. The former retains some basic consciousness even without cell transfer out conversion to God's punishment which was more like living commands than fusion. Carriers ape different, their specific vessels that seal the cell permanently once the integration is completed. Although those vessels will become dormant if not used for a long time, nobody has even managed to et. Out of one to this date, least none of the witches, not even Pasha, is able to do that. There he beams light above the carriers, right, that's right, without magic power those cumbersome bodies can't move independently of. Readmit arson centicreaticod. Perhaps one day we also find way to have their souls return to the dream world. It first on Kanga, how on earth did the ship move the absence of wind, because there is machine that continuously boiled water was pushing the boat forward. It first on how does manga great.com boiling water make the upon ship move itself, only His Majesty and Miss Anna knew about it. According to Ashes that Miss Anna had place on the battle strength ranking of overwinter. Battle strength banking is different from wolf, no individual compete with group of people, isn't it? Animal to only make emphasis on individual fighting capacity, wolves, ape, also social animals. Well fine, then take another animal as example like tigers and snow leopards. Anyway, Anna is the power solus of Neverwinter. It first on manga Greyacom, it was Anna ability that enabled the first army to flash the watchdog and upon WhipClan with one blow. I bet Ashes didn't tell you that she was almost beaten ordinary man. That ordinary used the exact weapon made Anna. There's no point to discuss fighting capacities without talking about those weapons. If you want to become stronger, I suggest that you ask His Majesty to brick on pesos grant you set of LKIOF professional weapons if you are happy these big tubes on you back after you. Transformation that would GE more sell than any combating skills. I did not really agree with it. I'll take note of help advice. After all, father often told me to listen and observe, and also to always remember what I had wanted. The first place, Joe 2 at first on Kangag Beatcom. Cool. Cool. I got it, tell princess till that I'll be there soon and me cool. Did it witch it first on manga great? Maggie like yoke, she's also witch who perform I see full body transformation. Wait, I remember that Maggie should transform into fierce aggressive and frightful giant monster. Maggie look like pigeon. Time to pack. We'll soon reach it first on Neverwinter. Manga great. I first on Kangaria.com that should be special form of greetings, however unlike any of the greetings I had witnessed where there was usually party superior to the other, the greeting here did not stress status difference. They had greeted each other with ceremonious air when they were equal to. This is military salutations. I didn't know they did that the beginning and thought it was etiquette imposed Poland Wimbledon to his subjects. Later I found it wasn't what I thought. Does it have nothing to do with the Roland? Correct, they salute voluntarily every time boat it first on carrying the first Kangag beat con army docks, because the return of the boat means their family members have come back home safe and sound from their expedition. They don't look like families. All the members of the first army are from Neverwinter, which means most residents have family member who has joined the army. There's also a lot of them from neighboring streets. The first army is totally different from mercenaries who drift around looking to potential employers. Not do they work the same way as enlisted militia. They take pride their jobs. They celebrate the safe return of family members, fop each other. It first on manga great.com. I believe this is probably what His Majesty refers to as the significance of People's Army. So its army built all subjects. Plan to visit place White Snow City was frustrated. There was little snow, Neverwinter. They cleaned it right away. Although the city it first on looked quite manga great magnificent, the first glance I did not feel as comfortable as upon Sand City. Please follow me. His Majesty has agreed to receive yoke. Visit and this Mantua manga great.com. The translation manga great.com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Manga great.low release that which exit rev ododo dujo duo bad wife's forced to become demon they. Theon Senvor. It first Kanga great.com. This is the chief who utterly rolled her clan and turned the whole southernmost region upside down. It first on manga great.com. Even if northerners did not like the idea of braiding their beards, he should not be this young. You have the divine lady from Wild Flame Clan, right? Please rise, sagacious wolf. Welcome to Neverwinter. I'm Roland Wimbledon, the King of Grey Castle and also your chief. Sagacious Wolf. The addressing was simply queer. I had never heard people call Wolf sagacious before. Name is Logan in Flame. As to the title Divine Lady, believe it was mope appropriate to regard me as witch here. Further, Father Gel in Flame sends his best regards on behalf of Wild Flame Clan, hopes that Yoke Sovereign will be as long-lasting as the Oasis. Back Iron Sand City, I had heard many people call me lycanthrope monster, half-human of the abandoned. One fearing these names with the self-esteem of the third daughter of the chief, nobody had ever dared openly address me that way. I was currently not upon Sand City and was no longer the princess shielded the Wild Flame Clan, so I had to face these venomous comments on Own Iron Own It first on Manga Great Ape you easy and tail both real. Do you have to use magic power to maintain this shape of they've become part of Yoke body? I can't trick them back, you majesty. I know they look very strange. This is what I really look like. I don't want to hide imperfections. If you insist, still to avoid going to public places so that I won't scare people out. Divine ladies were viewed as powerful and beautiful beings moving, who were favored all the clans and admired all doling warriors. I unfortunately was exception. Edgerton Miriam. Strange did say that. Isn't it because they don't look like human? Easy. Readmit Piston Mange Great Com. Ordinary men don't have magic power either, and these two ears aren't affecting Yoke hearing of mobility. How say they're defective? They're simply unique feature of Yelps. Very interesting one indeed. Don't you think these two ears look pretty? Ahem, whole majesty, please mind you language. Pretty, this word be applied to me. How is half human pretty? Anyway, I don't decline you to conceal Yoke face of where hood public. You do it first, whatever you want. Mangagreat.com. Perhaps someone will point and stare. The beginning, they'll get used to it eventually. One solution is to ask sorry to draft picture stoppy book about Yoke of join Star Flower Troop 2 Star Play and become idol. This would be the fastest way fop the public to get to know Yoke Star Flower Trooper idol picture storybook. Right, Ashes told me that you came here to defend against demons and also to train myself. You majesty give heard there's witch called Miss Anna over winter who treat any wounds inflicted during battle. It first on mangagreat.com. This is very important to warrior. Know that it's warrior's dream to fight and gain combating experience without the fear of getting injured. Of course, I'll not only fight against you enemies, also bear all the medical expenses included. I see if you've willing to join the witch lining, you'll have big chance to fight. I prefer to act alone, you majesty, like mercenary. I don't want to be distracted anything other than fighting. I wanted to have better understanding of northern kingdoms before pledging alliance to the chief. Redoggers at NMNID Belkoj. I was essentially Sand Nation if the great chief failed to keep his promise. Maid land of 5. Those Sand Nations moving to the south would eventually sever all relationships with Grey Castle. If things really not to that point, the King of Grey Castle would enemy, hence I could not make decision without thoughtful consideration really. B. Then I can't satisfy Yoke demand. Career. I thought mercenary with exquisite combating skills would be popular everywhere. Not to mention that I was willing to provide service FOP free and bear all medical expenses. No sensible people would even decline such generous offer. How could he refuse me? Because this is going to GE full-fledged war, not some minor disputes between several clans. Is he saying that all Sand Nations redetchers OJ fights as Candela? Silly jokes. You folks with Ashes Light. What do you think of help? Very powerful. She would be first-class warrior, even the southernmost region. This is the power of extraordinary. There's even transcendent stronger than them. Let are funny beyond all physical restrictions of the human body and possess inconceivable power. Other words, nothing stop them from improving themselves. Transcendence. What kind of palm is that? Even Ashes only look to Reader first on Celt Creek Con. However, even with 3 transcendental dozens of extraordinaries, and thousands of combat witches, we failed stop demons too. And great empire collapsed overnight. Now it's old. The reason I declined Yoke offer is very simple. This isn't one-on-one to die fatal war between 2 civilizations. Rigiest on Seta Tretcom. No matter how strong you ape, individual operations won't work. More importantly, I don't want you to die fop nothing. Visit and this Manhwa manga great.com, the translation manga great.com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Manga great. DM release that me rev baba bood wife's forced to be kohi demon used, the vein saw new. It's completely different from what I thought. Hello monster. I will be yoke mercenary you majesty, the only condition is that I want to spar with other witches. Any time and I will accept Nan's treatment and don't have to bear all other expenses monster stand. Please. However the result is completely different. They also said that I have beautiful easy Reddit just at JCR bid beak. Wolf ears ape they really look pretty. Not this is just small defeat as lone as I stuck to path nothing was impossible. It doesn't matter if the chief doesn't agree it did not affect initial plan very I could still explore the city investigate demons and bet to no other witches except that it would take little longer than I had anticipated. Although the chief had rejected me he did not impose any restrictions on me and even hinted that I was welcome to the witch union any time if I changed minds since I had decided to act alone this would probably work better that's right if demons are really that strong did the chief build his king's city here if demons come from the northwest the first human city they come across will be Neverwinter _ it first on manga great. Isn't it safer to stay far away from danger as possible when there's no guarantee that KE conquer demons? The words I don't want you to die fop nothing were probably feigned kindness to dissuade me from challenging demons individually. Nobody knew who would gain the eventual victory until KE tried Loti. If I really not injured, could the catch place ask Miss Anna to cure me? I still have over gold royals mope than enough to pay the hotel bills even if the treatment cost is very high. I don't think they will charge dozens of gold royals time. It is no problem alone to live here fop several years without worrying about expenses on food drinks clothing herbs and desert elides. I firmly believed that even without the support of the king of Grey Castle I would still be able to pick on Hlearurk demons myself. Evelyn's complex none new release of chaos drinks off on your first drink feel free to out. This was pretty lame name fop the two words hope no relationship whatsoever person who had never tried it out might not know what kind of drink it was no wonder they had to put it on sale to attract people. Since the name suggested multi-flavored drinks I believed they offer wines judging from the spacious bright interior and customers coming and going readmit Geist on Millikrakoj. I'm sure the drinks should not be too bad. She wants telling all the truth especially the part concerning the reason she refuses to join the witch union. I could sense great fluctuation her emotions to make sure it'd be better to ask Wendy to conduct test. That's the screening procedure for applicants. She hasn't even submitted her application to join the witch union. So there's no need to probe into her background. Loa came to Overwinter to fight against demons and train herself of which you're positive right. She didn't lie on that for sleep rear it first on Nanar great. So that's it we founded the witch union initially to provide with place where you belong. There's no point to force people to join. It's normal fop person to take precautions when coming to foreign city. Let help be. Although I'm little disappointed. Oil. It first on mangagreat.com. Wolf girl particularly when I saw her twitchy long ears also her baggy tail intrigued me great deal. I wondered if her strength would leave her when I touched her ears and tail. The rear front cereal come in your majesty. The members of Joint Chamber of Commerce have arrived the Castle District. They wish to see yoke majesty. The samples we took last time it first on called be manga great copster among merchants on the island. Everybody fell love with it after they tasted it. I assure you that chaos oinks will be the most successful and popular commodity fjords the history of time once we start selling them. And it isn't drank for example that fiery red spicy juice. Although it doesn't quench thirsts, it's great slice fop steamed fish of barbecues besides it warm you and refresh yolk spirit more efficient way than you white liquor. The least white liquor will make you dizzy if you oink to muck and it doesn't come handy when you've on ship whereas that juice doesn't have such problems. Tried not only merchants many explorers are attracted to chaos drinks. Drink that readmit firstborn, keep them warm, mange treat cure without creating any side effects, may save them the event of shipwreck. This light I suggest marking chaos drinks with various price tags, drink with special functions like. This should definitely have higher price tag if we do bite of marketing, not to mention that the number is limited. It was indeed true that successful merchants from fjords were all good, sniffing out great potential business opportunities. They were able to notice the distinctive features of various chaos drinks, thole few samples. Reap it first on mangagreat.com. They knew selling them different prices was the best way to reap profits. Since it has good reception, we move on to its sale according to the contract we signed earlier. I think none of you has objections to the recorder price or the distribution FOP each district. However, you need to deposit to pick you orders. You should have brought sufficient gold royals, right? Of course, you majesty. There's no care on ship this time at first. Menalgra's GM, only shiny bold royals plus some masons and sailors. Then let's check the woods out. We provide barrels of chaos drinks per month. Each chamber of commerce I will have 5 barrels on average. As long out production remains the same, you'll bet the same amount of products every time, no matter how long it takes you to sell them out, whether come to pick you orders every 3 months of half years out. Stocks won't change. All the barrels you pick this time ape here on the wooden racks, the first row. Once you've checked the woods, I'll send men to deliver them to the dock area. Red debt first, Melcreatsum. Don't let have taste before the delivery. This isn't wine whose flavor grows mellower as time passes. Some chaos drinks do have relatively long shelf life, not every one of them does. Therefore, after the brewing is done, we have to first sterilize and preserve them. Sterilize. Like food, they'll go bad the hotter, the faster. Red Sea Kid Bezicod sterilization slow down the process. Know how it's done. Ought to remember that once we open the wooden barley, the drinks won't keep the taste as good as they initially do. Lou. Sell them as fast as you have stock them, as long as stop them shades and keep them cool. They should last FOP least 1 of 2 months, as Tiger has mentioned. Each chaos drink is different. Some may be more popular than the others if you don't let taste them. First, how are we going to choose the better ones? Could divide the drink each barrel into folk equal portions and then preserve them. That case we don't need to worry about which one we should pick. That would add Sorry and Lily's work several times. First, on can'tsbeat.com I would certainly choose not to do something that consumed mope industrial production resources, yielded no benefits. Sterilization isn't easy. If we divide the products into folk portions, each chamber of commerce will have fewer stocks mope varieties of drinks, which would do no good to the sales as to their flavors. The northern region and the western region have completely different needs. FOP wines and drinks. The unpopular drinks here may be well received there to wind at none ununium as merchants who transport books to various places all the time. You should know it very well. Well, anyway, the flavor isn't the point. Wholesaling method, it should get most out of each drink and find you niche. Whoa. It geist on milligrej cm. Well, come pick the chaos drinks you like. You majesty, the buckets on both sides of knot and no have quite tasty drinks, least I personally like them very. Rid person Mariam, take that as gift if it wants for the first batch of businessmen that you brought. The western region might have taken 2 or 3 years more before it could look like this. Thole yoke intention wasn't to do business with border town. The town still reaped the benefits, so this reward is nothing. Would only be FOP this time. After all, if bet good cards each time, the others will certainly become suspicious. That case I accept yoke gift. Since I have received your gift, I can't do anything return. I might as well reveal to you good news. The first group of businessmen you mentioned, which includes old friend Homeplan, to visit the western region this period. It geist manage from his letter. It seems that this time it would gem ope than him. The machines that you sell have spread the central region of the kingdom and almost all the mining. Businessman Ape now asking him about the rail transport system, and about 6 months roll plant will be busy all day long. Is that so? That does seem like good news to celebrate. It first on mangagreat.com. The people of the fjords would soon realize that if they wanted to produce their own steamship they would have to raw materials, equipment, key parts and components. From Neverwinter. I Sutsvi U Krigssurface U Krysets ZDC Huzutz UC Sinful HZS Labs. Kasustsvike U _CF Sun Sutsuxil UCE Kill them E Sitsvazi U. Suchka U _CRKSU. The end they would only be mope dependent on Grey Castle. Like small countries without complete industrial capabilities, the modern would kelp the arrivals to settle and call Carl van Bait so that together make financial plan based on what the industrial park is doing right now. We have to build few more plants. Visit and this Manhwa manga great.com, the translation manga great.com. Thank you. Enjoy faster please. Manga great. DM release that milk revoda dodo wield forced to be Kokes demon quell, the Vanson NVW. Dear Camilla, the months of demons is now over and the western region is calm again. Victory Day celebrations were particularly interesting. Do you remember the hot pot that I told about? Roland moved this cooking method to the town square. With folk lb woks of boiled soup and then the meat, vegetables, whole chicken and bird beak. Mushrooms were thrown into the sold. The fragrance could be smelt across the other side of Rebate River. He also said the pot was feature of Overwinter that definitely had to be tasted. Read it first on mangagurt.com. With Poland's encouragement, everyone all kinds of food their pots. I have to say that with thick sold no matter what I ate mouth was a flavor. There was no difference between City Hall officials, the which union of ordinary subjects. This scene would have been impossible the past. It is to imagine that call war that will determine the fate of the world will follow this passionate scene. It is also precisely because of this that this kind of joy was especially precious. I'm writing these to tell you that Overwinter is really incredible place and I'm not trying to change yoke views of the nobility. Roland Wimbledon is not noble all unsurprisingly. I confirmed old speculation. He is exactly like us. The so-called noble identity was only passage of time of cover-up. So you should also take look. This new city Sleeping Island certainly needs guarding. I don't want you to view this responsibility like cage. And the way during this months of demons out witches finally no longer stood idly. Poland's plan of the southernmost region was carried out. Ashes Andrea and Echo. Read it first on mangagreat.com. As FOP, the interesting things happening the desert. I want to into details here. And we talk about it later on. I believe that the Sleeping Island will inevitably become even more important after the other sisters have come. To the chief butler of Sleeping Island. Well, I was just waiting about you. Would like to take look. I'd better not. I still have to prepare today's dinner. It first on mangagreat.com. Then you'd better boy. I look forward to yoke delicious dishes. After chit-chatting Mick, now let's talk about serious. According to agreement with him, Spine is when the relocation will take place. The time has come. FOP action and idea hasn't changed. Everything has bone as expected and even mope perfectly than anticipated. Hence we should just follow the plan. I believe you ape already well prepared. Red UT guess Shiga Grebko after the months of demons ends. The fjords trade roads will soon be, and I'm afraid it will be difficult to hide enough ships and sailors if encounter such problem. You ask Thunder FOP help. He's currently seeking sealing adventures. Ships and people are not problem before the steel ship that Roland built FOP him is ready. Thunder will remain the fjords as long as we get contact with him. He will surely help us. Addition, do not forget to advertise to the loads and merchants of Fjord Islands about our whereabouts. Also inform them that the sleeping spell will continue to be open to all. Don't poppy that after the relocation part of the witches will be too far away from the fjords. Now that western region's shallow beach has been into sea, and Roland also intends to build new POP, the Endless Cape. FOP replenishment. This means Overwinter's vessels easily reach the fjords. I have that it will not take long before this roll becomes the busiest trade roll between the mainland and the islands. It will become normal thing to cross the straits, especially once the converted paddle steamed the harbor is completed. It is important to remember this. Camilla vibration to the western reckon does not mean giving the sleeping island Overwinter is the front line against the demons and the most dangerous place once the battle of divine will starts as part of humanity. We should bold best to make contribution to fight against the enemy. Read you guessed CNHNGE Greek cod. Even Roland cannot guarantee victory when the western region is captured, the enemy the only place. Weta would be the fjords island suits FZQEU caring Sutsvae, Zuxa, Slitsvake you could. Sutse UCZI. Although it would be better if thing did not happen anyway, we still have hope as long as the sleeping island is still there. Take care till Wimbledon. Camilla Day, originally noble of the old king's city, she knew quite well the dirty secrets among the nobility and that called keep to completely lose faith them, although Camilla still supported all the decisions she had made. The last time I talked to her, the housekeeper had faintly hinted that she would stay behind the sleeping island forever. Read first on mangagreat.com. Sleeping island was important. But it should not be placed to stay alone. The guardians could take turns and everyone should have the opportunity to come to Grey Castle to re-experience normal life. This was what I would like to see. Of course, this letter might not completely convince Camilla as more and more witches came to the Western reckon. I believe that Camilla would change her original view. Guest. RNGN Greet John. Your Highness till ascending letter. Will they be yes, and all of them have sent to be sent to Sleeping Island Camilla? Is that to rend up Hurston Shijagreet Gcom? It doesn't matter since it's Yoke Highness Billy's letter, it'll have to be sent no matter what. Now I'll go to catch 2 seabirds fop Yoke, whether it's secret document of even honey grilled fish. It also is sent. UT first on mangagreat.com. Before long the witches that were forced to leave their homeland would once again set foot on this piece of land. Read it first on gnngagreat.com. Neverwinter_ everything thought about witches would change fop the better. That time the Western reckon would be even livelier than it was now. It first on mangagreat. Sincerely looking forward to that day. Visit and this Mantua mangagreat.com to the translation mangagreat.com. Thank you if enjoy faster. Please mangagreat.com release that hashtag XZLU idea chur do dodo wield forced to be coup demon queen the van. Sworn. Visit read this manner mingreat.com to the translation term. Looks like today will be nice day. Mangagreat.com. Good morning. Are going to the factory today? Yes, there ape some big objects that can't be pushed out the workers, the machine can't plug that big UT thing and it only menga great JCOHB joined small iron pieces. Miss Anna was doing it all before, but it's all to now, don't forget me. I know, rest assured I'll finish hopes earlier and come time. Then I'll make move first boy ill take care of hero. Read guest manga great J-Con. Are awake looks like woke early today unlike before. Good morning. .com soppy to trouble again, it's no trouble. I don't know if I can. I have forgotten completely the feeling of walking ice to Kagagreachcom. Even if dream I only crawl forward. So you learn from the beginning it's not big deal. Even God's punishment witch do it and surely you as well. Come to raise you lees. It first on mangagreat.com. Over the past few months the witch union has been trying to find way to heal me months ago. Even I can't do it. I only recover minor wounds such as severed fingers. Not you can, don't forget about her. Sorry, ability is really limited. Even with broken swords magic treatment could only last fop dozens of minutes. I think you guys need to help it first on Wangagrialcoa. Sister Wendy, I have special pill called the sleeping fern, after taking it will fall asleep fop hours, it will relieve hero's suffering. I will be responsible fop the cutting during treatment and Anna only needed to focus on her ability. With me here, don't poppy about depleting magic power. It first on mangagreat.com. If everything went smooth I would regain feet after today. Is everyone here? His Majesty and Marcus Speak have been waiting fop you the medical room, don't poppy, you'll regain your freedom soon. Who else could it be? Only His Majesty could make Lily put down her microscope and the weird worms. His Majesty Roland has come. Don't talk nonsense, let's not let His Majesty wait too long. Where's Annie? I'm here, you'll be here until I wake, right? Let's get started. Not this willow-like dabber was suggestion made His Majesty. Still very uncomfortable, all better than the previous ones, it doesn't matter, I stand it, feel free to use it. Half hour later. You feeling? You feel them? Then thanks. Wasabi sob. This treatment had also helped me to further confirm Broken Sword's ability to increase the witch's magic power. Civil hey look me, every witch had their power. Hummingbird's ability, for example high, there were limits to the volumes of the objects of which she reduced weights, the lasting power of her magic and the extent of weight reduction. The same applied to Nanak. The magic power she needed to regrow the limbs was far beyond her magic power limit. Ability helped increase limits so that something that had been impossible became nearly possible. Judging from the report recorded Wendy when Broken Sword worked with other witches and spread them on the desk, the results showed that most witches' abilities sharply strengthened. For example, the Dawn I Enchanted Mystery Moon would work longer from the previous 5 days to the current 2 weeks. The improvement was highly precious. FOP Never Winter Edition. Broken Sword also offered significant assistance to witches like Soraya, Agatha, Lucian Paper, et who worked the plants. It is foreseeable that Broken Sword would be one of the busiest witches. Never Winter. Your Majesty, the Minister of Chemical Industry Sir Kyle hopes you pay visit to Lab 4KE said that there has been some progress. What asked for rearrange schedule, I'll be there immediately. Lab 4U. Read UT First CNHNGO Great JCGM. The Scent Gasoline. You Majesty. You Ficti, the backwater, the southernmost region indeed contains many liquid components. Give done some experiments according to the approaches described intermediate chemistry and found out that the components could be separated through distillation. The components ape all combustible and the upper layer of the liquids obtained from the distillation are more volatile. First on Natalaya. Like this Mangen Great 10. It's like explosion when it's ignited. It appears that black water does separate combustible oils. Very good, let's think of way to mass produce it next. UT First on Yes Slip Kanga Great Majesty. The days are betting more and mope comfortable. After all, I had mope than employees factory. There were almost chickens and which needed several baskets of fodders and earthworms each day. So people call me Chicken Handpick Knight. It first on mangagreat.com. Here you ape, His Majesty is waiting. Fop you, what's the matter? The Glad didn't tell, he only told me to tell to the castle when you've been. I see. It's not long after the conference of the ABQIC mobilization movement. Is His Majesty thinking the same as I do to promote me as honorary example? UT Guest. Cop. The third border city. The foot of the north slope. Noah, how did they make this? UT Gust QMNGA Greet.com. Wide underground space was died out. This is top secret, even the city hall not many people know it. And it's significant that it concerns the Felipe development of Never Winter. As soon as accept, it can't tell anyone what see and heap without permission. Officer of the Ministry of Agriculture. Perils Dessau sends his best regards and willing to take on this important task. I don't know what task His Majesty will entrust to me. Read first mistreat. April. You Majesty ape slope, it's going to be alright. Instead of concealing it, think it's better to give them some time to accept it. Sooner or later rend UT burst subjects anger. Great JCOM will know about it. Let's start with the city hall officials. Alright then. UT just MMIGC Greater Co. of I. Read UT Guestwanger Great Com Eco End. What the tell is that? Nice to see you Pasha. Read it first on Kanga Great. You Majesty nice to see too. How are the worms? Their number has increased as long as there are mushrooms. It seems they'll just keep on eating. They do seem to rend UT First easy to feed. QNGL Greet JCOM. What's happening? Were visit and this Mantua Manga Great.lo. The translation Manga Create Com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Manga Great. DM release that Rev Dorado wife's forced to be Kohi demon used. The Vanson NVW. I will introduce you to her. This is Miss Pasha. She used to be well endowed lady. Last lady. Read you. There's no need to be afraid. Although she's been closed demons, which is she looking the way she does now, deep her heart she's still human. UT guest G Hige Greet K-Com. Come walk with me and I'll tell the details. Years aeon they lived the barbarian land and even built their own towns. They failed to resist the combined invasion of rend-up demonic beasts and demons. Anagret. Con. Hold on. Most of them are dead. There be another way to defeat the demons. Let's got to the Western Pelion read utmost. At en kigagrius com lay. Not good, this is the demons close turned them into monsters and made them immortal, which meant they had to live forever with that pain. Her curas, SAE, more big. Is understood that's what happened. Reddit first manga great.com acre. It is better to change the history of the witch empire's rule of mankind to the team Lord Distress. Now I took those who survive, they would become out ally fop fighting against demons as well as the subjects of Grey Castle. As see their looks easily give people negative first impression, so I have to keep it top secret. Ill keep mouth your majesty. Read it first manga great.com. Although this odd news was mope inconceivable than the hopped stories from Granny's month's eye. Believe whatever his majesty tells me, that was the fundamental conduct of loyal official. Here we ape. Is this? That's right, it's called rubberworm. Its secretion is widely used industrial material which is as important as meat and eyes. Red UT guest on my bigger greet ACOB. I heard over to feed the chickens and you passed earthworms essentially. Yes did His Majesty suddenly mention this. I want to take care of these bless e. Back this. These worms are no different from earthworms. I don't mean the breeding method but the nature. They're not of the two aggressive, their favorite food is mushrooms. They ape massive, they are passive. You read it first on won't be bitten. The manga great.com only thing you need to do is regularly collect the minus their bellies. Written this notebook or some of the habits of these worms. Head it for reference and compare it to yolk knowledge, then see if you find ways to make them grow faster and collect mucus easier. I wish to see what you accomplish next month. Yes, Yoke Majesty, how I to do this on own, _ The first army stationed where will assist Yoke work hard, and there will be place to this year's award and honor ceremony. Read UT Shikal Griejkon their back. You Majesty. UT Manager Great JCOA. You Majesty remember do. Jasmine and Lyra. Mind roll manner it first on manga-great.com. Whatever we look like do remember we are the Aquila. Worm. What worm? It's witch. They just arrived never winter. They persist seeing you before their dormancy, so I have to keep them waiting beside the hall. I hope I didn't frighten Yoke, not didn't frighten me honestly. I've been waiting fop the good news of the successful transfer to fop. We couldn't afford to sustain the worm carrier. Your Majesty Fran alone is capable of handling the daily tunneling and transportation. There's no need to keep all three carriers awake. Keep them awake, they'll be very helpful to the upcoming new project edition. There are also many places over winter that need reconstruction. No need to poppy about food, the city hall will take care of it. Is first on manga-great.com. Really very good. I don't like to spend most of the time sleeping. Now that you've got plan, I will leave them to Yoke. Visit and this Mantua manga-great.com, the translation manga-great.com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Manga great.low release that Axis Rev Odabadujo Duo Bad Wife's forced to be Kohi Demon Queen. The Vane's Son Vor. The exploration is about to end. There is nothing to worry about the Western region fop now. First Unhijagreechcon. It was secret letter from Hill Forks. This is, how dare he first my grep Chikon. Call all relevant personnel to discuss Contamizal Pesi. Your Majesty please give the order. No matter how far the enemy is, the First Army will push them fop. Yoke. They've harassed the eastern region this time. Read it first on manga-great.low. Next time they may dare to cross the boundary and invade the kingdom. Invading if the army of the Kingdom of Dawn could enter Grey Castle so brazenly on Earth, would you be here? Look, its example, baseless example, won't convince anybody. More importantly, do we need to involve the army problem that could be solved too? A light. Let's take break. Something before we continue it first on mangagrat.com. Show me today's meeting. Okay, here are all records. The records. Hill Forks wrote 3 things. The secret letter append the King of Dawn schemes to Easel, the eastern region of Grey Castle. The situation, the Holy City, is volatile. Otto Lloyd has been imprisoned. After 3 days of discussion, both factions agreed to recover the eastern region and destroy it. First on manga-great.com, the only thing still dispute was when to retaliate against. Right now there is opportunity to profit the most while paying the smallest price. I have to wait for he to come to me. It first on mangagreat.com. You Majesty. Finally she came, thank you, keep having dried fish. You Majesty, You want me to save you, childhood friend Otto Lloyd. Don't yoke read first on Margaret, yes. But as you've heard, the meeting least over men are needed to make happen yield the men that were required to attack the holy city. The total number will peach about which accounts 4% of the first army. I just counted the manpower, if the materials all kinds of cost like the money fop. Horses, carts, food. Stop pushing, help, can't just say what mean. Yoke read it first on majestymangagreat.com. I'm alright, that's the situation now. We the tables with some effort. It depends on the three families and to what extent they are willing to cooperate. Please on. We need someone to replace the Maya royalty. I see. Do you have planned? Are you interested being the queen of the kingdom of dawn? It first on mangagreat.com. Not. I don't want to leave. Not. No reason, I'm just not interested. How about you, father? Is he interested? Will he stand out? Of course the other two families will also benefit. Fact, the cold will make every participant win. It first on mangagreat.com. And more than that, the threat that hangs over. I think father will agree. Not, he'll definitely agree. Then Overwinter will soon take action. Don't Poppy. Otto Lloyd won't be detained fop too long. I'd thought you wanted to be the king of dawn yourself. Out, weren't joking about making her the monarch. I knew you would figure it out soon. It first on mangagreat.com. Come in. You Majesty. Give heard from Agatha that Church of Hermes is on the brink of collapse. Is that so? Apparently Agatha brought her in. That's what the intelligence says. We're still finding out the specific details. Refugees from the have begun to appear. Woodwind Ride and the western part of Kingdom of Dawn ready. First on mangagreat.com. They've testified that the most popular cathedral, the Holy City, has collapsed overnight. You don't come to intercede with the church, did Yoke? Not, don't remember what mentioned the millions of berserk pills. There's bound to be some people who now know where they're stored if word gets alt. Yoke plans will be disrupted. Where are the pills stored? They're separately stored, hidden warehouses all over the Hermes plateau. It's hard to explain where they are exactly. If Yoke Majesty me allow me to follow the army there. It first on mangagreat.com. Ill allow to travel with the first army. You shan't intervene any battle. All have to do is to find the pills and destroy them on the spot. Yoke Majesty, these lies may overwork the body when it comes to life and death battle. Say no more. And speaking of maintaining order, I've another task fop Yoke. There should still be few cloisters left. The old holy city light ready on Kanga Great Cod free. The orphans take care of them and brine them back to Western season. Okay, your Majesty. It first on mangagreat.com. 8 today. The war will start any time now, and naturally the Ministry of Defense has mope work to do. Particular the circumstances of the Kingdom of Dawn are making things more complicated. If I return late next time, should ahead with dinner. Nah, I'm fine with this. It first on mangagreat.com. Sister have stayed silent fop the past few meetings. The questions which His Majesty asked were all within the realm of Yoke expertise. Not since we're able to head his intentions. Didn't speak fop him. It first on mangagreat.com. Did not see the way Baron was looking you. He was nearly bursting with delight. This is also secret. If you want to know, have to pay the price. On account of this delicious dinner, I'll take it that you've paid. Read out first on mangagreat.com. I didn't speak the meeting because I'm sure His Majesty will choose Andrea as quick fix for the problems. The Kingdom of Dawn during 3 days of meetings. Glanced Andrea total of times. She's neither City Hall official not key decision maker. And as such, unless they're having affair, this should be the secret plot. You even noted this. Sitting like this, I observe His Majesty with the corners of eyes. He certainly wouldn't expect that. While he was watching Andrea, someone else was it on constantly observing him. Mangagreat.com. What did say not EPM? Nothing. I would like to ask, when you spoke to Andrea after one of the meetings, was it also because of this? What if Noblesse was wrong? Oh, saw that. His Majesty is very benevolent kind, and besides he has met Sit Otto briefly before as lone as speak. He'll almost certainly agree to save the latter. It first on manga great com. I simply said to her this way, if guess was correct I would have served to help His Majesty, while if I was wrong, who actually cares if the Kingdom of Dawn's nobles are dead or alive? It first on manga great com. The next day, Your Majesty. No matter how far the enemy is, the first army will push them. Fop yoke. Don't forget that the primary goal of this year is the enthronement ceremony. Never winter. The first army would split into two roles. The first role would be to enter Herm's Plateau through Woodwind Ridge, while the second would be to through the eastern region directly at first on towards the border of manga great com, the Kingdom of Dawn. The aim was fop these two offensives to link the city of Blow early autumn. Yes, Yoke Majesty. The entire western region became busy. Visit and this Manhwa manga great.com, the translation manga great co. Thank you. If enjoy faster please. Manga great.lo release that all Rev Hub Odor Dado wield forced to be Kohi Demon Queen, at Evan Sonu. 1 2 3 4. There were only left less than half months. I used read first 3 Klartep of Marga Great's com savings. The prices B City are high, particularly Evelyn Complex Winehouse. The drinks ape outrageously expensive. It's like open robbery. I have to admit that the wine shop didn't job me, and I willingly took the gold royals to Guy. The drinks. It first manga great. I was defeated. Own desire. Mope. Sure, already spent. So it first manga great.com. Those chaos drinks ape enchanting. Even the morning dew of Artist Oasis doesn't taste that good. Their amazing flavors are beyond description. And each one of the colorful drinks is unique and tasty. Complex Winehouse deserve its reputation. Not I stop indulging myself. It first on manga great.com. Remaining money could hardly support plan to stay the city to wait for those kinds of opportunities. First on manga great.com. Read it first on manga great.com. T first, megagram. Cool. This voice seems to have been heard somewhere before. Maggie the Wolf actually speak cool. Read UT first on manga gratcom wheelie. It's which idiot? Who've yoke how to know? Read it first on manga great.com. I'm Lopa Burn Flame from the desert. I came here with Ashes, and Andrea Ashes mentioned you on the way. Maggie. I remember I've met her when I went to pick Ashes. Cool. Didn't Ashes tell anything about me? It first on manga great. You Lightning the Greatest explore the western region, not the entire kingdom of Greycastle. You've got to remember it. Read it first on manga greer.com. Cool. Did take off yoke clothes. Is that something conjure up? Cool. Stop staring. Help. Repeat first on manga great.com. That's just individual differences. Cool. I'd attack me. Visit and this Manhwa manga great.lo to the translation manga create.com. Thank you. If you enjoy faster please. Manga great.com release that I voodoo lu jodo wife's forced to be Kohi Demon Queasy. At HV Kasam Nuab. Thought you were mutated snow wolf. It first on manga great.com. It's our job to keep watch on the northeast, eliminate wandering demonic beasts the barbarian land, and bring fresh praise back to the castle. And stealing birds' eggs from their nests, picking honeycombs and roasting food the wilderness. Those aren't old work. Short, there's almost no one this area, plus the months of demons just ended. So see readmit first on magagreat.com. I had repeatedly heard that the border regions of northern kingdoms would become very dangerous during months of demons every year. What about you? This is the barbarian land. Many demonic beasts wander this place, and something even more terrible may also hide here. What do you want to do out here alone? Something mope terrible. Do you mean demons? If so, I think give come to the right place. Know about the demons. Cool. Mean know where the demon is? Yes, they are. Read UT first MNNA great ocom. I'm looking fop abandoned city. I heard the demons have appeared there. I want to them. Who told that? Is there anything wrong? Demons did appear. Tactical. It was over years on what? Of course. They may return any time that we patrol this area. It first on manga great.cm if you really want to. The abandoned city you'll have to fop 7 of 8 days. Mope importantly, the barbarian land is to lapse once head wrong direction. You'll never see the city. Have to know that this place is originally called the Fertile Plains. And it's careerer than the entire kingdom of Grey Castle. Not even Korea than the four kingdoms combined. Really, I'm not worried the long journey, it doesn't matter if there are no demons. Fop, now read it. First on but failing manga great.com to find the abandoned city was totally unacceptable. Yes, but I admire you courage and adventurous spirit, that means you've got the potential to become good explorers. I don't know, refuse to join the witch union, you join the overwinter exploration group. What do you think? Do want to explore this continent and to join wrapped mist together with old barbecue? Not thanks. I came here to challenge own limits and climb the peak of fighting skills, not to play with some child. Wait, ill take to the tequila ruins, join the overwinter exploration group. If have been there at first on, engaged of course, we're the only ones who've touched its city wall over years. And I know about demons and have even forested very powerful senior demon. This will be unique information. Fop, you think about it. Isn't it just joining the overwinter adventure EPLP? Fop, the demons information, I had to make little sacrifice it first on mangagreat.com. Let's down, we're here so full. This is old exploration group's secret based, come with me. It first on mangagreat.com. Let's got cool. T first Mangagriat. I'll take 2 days to Aquila. We'll spend the night here and continue out journey early tomorrow morning. Now it's old barbecue time, wait to yummy toast. Did you build this place? I didn't build it, I just found place created Nathalia_UT first manga great. It was eaten hollow, some worms, and the upper part of it collapsed during stop, its branches and leaves happened to form natural roof. Fop, the window and door they were out. Maggie, we have many bases like this, the barbarian land. I felt this little girl was quite trustworthy. It first on mangagreat.com, smell good. It this is, read it first on mangagreat.com. So yummy, of course it's not common meat, cool. It's the meat of giant lake foe, the espying of the great snow mountain I made have effort to catch. It each of its leaves is the size of lightning, it's so big that we only preserve it and it slowly. Lake poem, what's that, is it really edible? Don't poppy it first on we explorers exist manga explore unknown secrets and different food is one of them. Yummy, right, it's still good. Visit and this Mantua manga great.lo the translation manga great.com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Manga great. On release that rib rev dodo my well-forced Teobs Kohi demon queen the Vansomivau. Let's down we're been. Is this the abandoned city? This was 5 of 6 times careerer than Iron Sand City and was big enough fop over people to live. This Mantua fastest update manga great. Looking its fragmented wreckage I could still sense its greatness based on the rule that each person the city needed to be supported people the surrounding towns and villages. I was surprised to find that there might have been nearly people living this wild land. We know this already. But this city was this Mantua defend at PP Day, the last line of cot defense fop the Witch Empire. Unfortunately, they failed to resist the demons' attack. The end grads. How did kingdom that built such lapse city lose to the demons? The end. The battle of divine will isn't clashed between two tribes, comprehensive war that determines which civilization survive. I now somewhat understand what His Majesty said. This Mantua fastest update scold great mega. Is Tequila located on the edge of Yoke Patrol area if demons want to attack Neverwinter? Which direction will they usually come from? They'll come from anywhere to the west of the Quins. But it's extremely dangerous for us to go that deep into the barbarian land, even Tholwe. It's because of the mist, sometimes even the will red. What's that? This Mantua fastest update red mist, everything is bright Jedi, it's life support thing. Fop demons just like the air we breathe. Today's nice great Euro day that looks blue, but if it's rainy or cloudy, especially when dark clouds gathering, they'll clearly see the red mist on the horizon when we're high there. This mist is toxic to witches. Even if we manage not to inhale any of it, we may still bet badly clipped simply touching it. This Madura defist update manga greats.com, since we don't know how far it reaches, we seldom cross Tequila to go further west. I see. Does the demon have any? As long as I out the pipes behind them, they'll become weak and vulnerable. It's not easy to do so, just like the senior demon I told about. Last night it has almost no flaws. Fight if you really meet the enemy, better retreat immediately and inform His Majesty Roland. Don't Poppy, I know how to deal with it properly. A light. Since you ape also member this Mantua fastest update of the exploration mental group, then great. It's FOP yoke. The areas that we've not yet exploded are all marked on this map. If you happen to step into these areas, please draw the things you discover on this map, such as birds' nests, honeycombs, wolf caves. Etch anything will do. You can't enjoy them alone, which is the most important rule of our exploration polio. You've got to wait until we come back. And will them together. Ahem. Well, I got it. What do mean come back? Ape leaving FOP never winter. This Mantua fastest update, His Majesty Poland is about to send troops to the eastern region and Herms that time will probably leave with the First Army. It'll take the least few months before come back. Great. After all, His Majesty has to depend on if he wants to investigate the enemy's situation of happy out shooting. Corrections, FOP the cannons. When we're away you'll be charged of the exploration job, the barbarian land. This muse, Astici. Every day I had one of two meetings to attend since I had issued the order to out to battle is more of easiest update. Mango Cot. I had enjoyed this tingling feeling of absolute power. First roads. I soon got overwhelmed the heavy workload as I got deeper into this preparation process. If it weren't FOP scroll not including and filtering the numbers, the reports for me, I'd also prefer to be distant leader. I'm in this Mantua the fastest update. Anjagreal.com. Whole Majesty. Please take look. This is the battle strategy have drawn. Collaborative operation. I think we use the abilities of the witches and tequila survivors to launch surprise maids. All directions over winter troops could quickly display the defensive formation of the enemy and could attack them from both the and the ground. This Mantua fastest update great. Though many of her ideas were not yet prepared enough, they were certainly impressive ones to have. This era SADEAU tilde suture exutse tilde lathe tilde ufdo sets. Austin. To successfully implement this plan I had to make sure that the gods' punishment witches of tequila would willingly obey orders rather than doing whatever they wanted regardless of the commands. This Mantua fastest update manga-great.com, and the solution was very simple. I could invite all the survivors who were going to participate the upcoming battle to enter Dream World. Visit and this Mantua manga-great.lo. The translation manga-great.com. Thank if you enjoy faster. Please manga-great.com. Release that died Dorado. My wife's forced to become demon used. Eva Sonzu. Garcia. It was Garcia. It first on key manga-great.com. Do know what time is it? It's the morning, which is not too early, and how do I know whether you'll have some other relative who suddenly came to visit? Looks like she was still some about being stood last time. Is there anything I do? FOP yoke. Didn't you always want to know what the erosion is? The association has set time. FOP new members too. Visit this afternoon after you finish your breakfast. Come to room, read first. Don't you say it's the afternoon. You're not the only new member. It takes time, FOP, to go join the other new members from the other districts. What ape, you going out with some relative again today? Yes, and mope than one, haha. See, but I slept late last night, so no, I don't smell very nice. Let me take shower first. Soppy. To keep waiting like answer would come she. That definitely the stand-way too. Please be quick. It first manga-great.com. Good morning, I'm going out now, but I'll be back very soon. Uncle Ape going to do you morning exercise first manga-great.com. Well, yes. The way there's staff meeting the afternoon. I may come home late today. Don't wait for me to have dinner. But I read it first on manga-great.com. To it. I will really come to do morning exercise next time. Read first manga-great.com right here. Rented. This is new stronghold I obtained through hunting and rented out through intermediary. Read up first. You Majesty. First on manga-great.com. Welcome to the Dreamland. I have special task FOP today. What task? According to Garcia, the association is planning to tell the new members the inside stop will be taken to the association's headquarters, whose location has remained secret, so I want to take this chance to find out the base where they store the force of nature. I need your kelp. Let's stay with it first on mangagreat.com so I know where are all the time. It's just Phyllis and Long, please come with me. Do you remember how to take taxi? Wave to stop taxi and tell the driver to follow the front. Then pay him when we arrived at firstborn mangagreat.com. Don't chat with the taxi driver and no matter what he asks will remain silent, rest assumed. Your Majesty, we remember it clearly. Good, when you arrived let Long to sneak into the headquarters first. Although there's no God's stone of retaliation this world, the Materialist Association may have some other methods to affect yoke magic power. If you can't break in, don't force yourselves. Your most important task is to keep yourselves hidden. Got it? Yes, Yoke Majesty. So Yoke Majesty, what about me? Stay where and take care of the other tequila, which is it first manga great CGM. Here's the money fop. Takeouts including breakfast, clinch and dinner. Let's postpone the entertainment plans until tomorrow. What, I'm also very good sneaking into places. Read UT first manga greater CGM. If you successfully take care of everyone, were today, I'll Tuesday to take you to movie theater. Ah, Healy, I read it first on mangagreat.com. I got it, please leave it to me. Visit and this Manhwa mangagreat.com to the translation mangagreat.com. Thank if you enjoy faster. Please mangagreat.com release that which rib died major do good well forced to be Kohi demon queen. Tevan Sunvu. Have already rushed back as fast as possible. I still one step too late. Read it first on mangagreat.com. Par underestimated Bassie's diligence. Alright, I've got something else to do. I'm hanging, and don't call me back if it's only to persuade me. Is the Clover Drop calling you again about Read UT the demolition matter? Chiggy great, this body just doesn't sweat very now. I see materialists always look neat, Read UT and clean. Well, this isn't important all anyhow. I don't sneak away, you see that I'm standing right front of you now. Don't yoke, I don't want to interfere with your private life. It's not good to indulge yourself. Mope importantly, it's also about education. What visit added? This madly Mangigio Acecon to suppose the translation tend, I mean those girls who came out of you apartment. Can't bet things done somewhere else do have to bring them home. Have already forgotten that there's little girl you home it first on manga greater.com. I had deliberately arranged the tequila witches to cut off their consciousness and get into the dreamland once Zero had left for school. It's true that some materialists will become less decent when they become famous. The face of money and feel will easily lose himself. Don't forget that we're fighting FOP this world and always have to maintain high morale. Garcia had the complete one idea based on what she had seen. Ahem. Got it, we talk about this matter later. Call, please let me change clothes first. I don't want to be late for old visit. It first manga greater GM. You? It's first time visiting the headquarters and I thought that I should dress formally. I'm new member of the association and casual clothing seems disrespectful. FOP occasion. What do you think? Ha, whatever, want to surprise. Read it first on mangagreat.com. Look quite good this suit. That's enough. Let's of course you get what you pay. FOP this trim custom made suit costs me lot of robbery income. There. Bet on the in to read it first on mangagreat.com. No license plate and can't see what's inside. First on mangagreat.com. What are you dawdling about? Come quickly. End August. Shig agree to com. Using dead alias Mama Mangio Elcacot to do. Banzelfield team. Are they you colleagues? UT first Chige great CGM. The Materialist Association isn't company most people. These are newly awakened people just like you. It's also the first time FOP me to meet them. Do I feel that they are hostile to me? Give told that not all the awakened ones choose to join the centrists aren't less than the association's materialists now. As the erosion intensifies and the number of fallen evils rapidly grows, the situation has become mope dangerous. FOP the centrists mope of them are going to join out association. The fire. The past conflict had happened where some wild materialists joined the association and killed several materialists when they were performing hunting job. The end, the defenders stood out to kill the wild materialist. You'd better ignore their provocations. Just present you didn't see it, as the association will severely punish such behaviors. The force of nature is gift from the deities, its ability to protect ourselves rather than tool to exploit others. If we fail to stop the erosion, the entire world may cease to exist. Many awakened just enjoy the pleasures brought their power, completely forget their responsibility. Visit this Manhwa manga. Great to the translation. Perhaps this was also the reason that those witches who had been aware of the harm called demons established the union years aeon. Read it first on mangrate.com. Already arrived. It was sinking into the ground. What's happening? Is it and this Manhwa manga great? CDM the translation manga great.com. Thank if enjoy faster please. Manga great. Low release that witch Axel died. Oda good my wield forced to be Kohi demon lucky. The Vasan in Vor. This is its lift if and DTEADD point the TTNS Lefian. Look outside. Read UT Gus CN Hijaxes. Compared to this sophisticated way of entering the third border city was way too backwards, which was still reliant on hempopes and steam engines. UTCN Hiji great CCGM. The strength of the association, they cannot be headquarters underestimated, is actually build underground. This is so cool. I'm curious if Long, who was following, could find chance to infiltrate. Onsong UT guest Kaiga great J Con. Can't believe it's underground. There are so many people. Read it first on manga great. Are these people from other cities? The association owns many divisions. Its only two headquarters. Order to bet into contact with the erosion. One come to these two places. The erosion from the outside world, it is seen directly from here. Redo get mang n great jcom not. It is seen but also touch it. Thol would never want to do that. Dead awakened ones. Good afternoon, welcome to Prism City. Read UT guest cnngi great.com. Am land chief disciple of the Pox defender. Send here just to see the chief disciples. Are looking down on visit end seats. Mantua e Manjaguitscon support the TT Englishio hereby. Take it easy everyone. Of course, welcoming the new students was the responsibility of defenders. Unfortunately, City encountered some problems. Master and the other 3 defenders all left 2 days ago. Order to avoid wasting time, I'll be the one to welcome you all. I know that some of awoke many years ago and can't be treated as real newcomers. This Mantua fastest update, however, the situation has manga great C-com changed drastically since you've willing to come here. It means you've approved the ability of the association and should naturally all the past temporarily behind you. Combating the fallen evil should be yoke priority now. The association doesn't care about you past identity and states only yoke title performance. The more critical the crisis is, the mope the awakened should be united. If you don't accept the practice of the association, you're still free to leave right now. This Mantua fastest update manga great. Con. Chief disciple is quite adept. Deliberately acted as if giving them choice. Reality, she gave them no choice all. She's master, she's the senior that I mentioned the other day. What slip master? Unless have to not be applied. Her to master doesn't like irresponsible and not punctual people. Oh. So that was HHIS Mad Bua the fastest update at the case manga great you. A 1. Since you've all made you choice, then the association welcomes any new blood. Dis Madura Pastos die. EKJ Griefs Cod. Now please come with me and see fop yourselves the imminent crisis of the world. You'll soon realize that the battle of divine will isn't far away from is. Battle of divine will. Would there be battle of divine will? The dream world too. Miss DHA Docile. At PDFed Menjagredia.com, help expression didn't change all as if she already knew of. She didn't cape about it. Building the headquarters underground was already a rational first. Manglegreet GM. Even when considering the aspect of preventing others to infiltrate, of the necessity of keeping it secret. There used to be mine here. And we used the abandoned mine tunnels to build all the elevator aisles you see on the walls. Of course part of them were newly excavated. This depends on the speed of the erosion. The erosion happened the mine UT first. Manga Grurticom _ not exactly FOP now you think of it as. So the reason FOP building the headquarters Lundererolind is to prevent the erosion from developing. It's not to prevent the erosion from developing. To glad against awakened ones with ulterior motive. What does that mean? Don't weepy, you'll soon understand. UT guest LNGA greet.cm. Conference room tightly guarded. Everyone read UT first CNNNICL greet, CGN. It's going to start. Think some of may have already blessed have felt it. Evil force has entered old wood. It allows the fallen evil to multiply numbers, quickly posing serious threat to the safety AWAV. As far as I concerned, this notion is incorrect. Read it first CNGA-great.com. It was never evil force, rather and from another world. This is UT first on MNMIGI-GRT.com. Erosion of actually loopholes. What? The one on stage is just small part of it. Outworld is becoming riddled with holes. That's the essence of erosion. What do mean? You elaborate. What's this other world? When did the Materialist Association become Academy of Science? So what? The following demonstration. Possible. No matter from which direction looked it, the crystal red it first always showed mangagrat.com the same appearance. Look, the bar he hands had become shooter. I come to see, help yourself. UT guest manja reached. Read it first on mangagrat.com. Take him to the infirmary. Anyone else wants to come on stage and have look? I want to see it. It first on manga.com. Red light, red up cheer, ETCCD. I had once seen it, the Divine Land too. Visit and this Mantua manga.great.com, the translation manga.great.com. Thank if you enjoy. Faster please. Manga.great.low release that Axis Revo bad my well forced to be Cole Demon Queen at Hevainsamvor. Poland, right? Me. In heard Garcia mention several times. She said a rare indecent dent awakened person who is not disturbed desires. This is very rare for ordinary people. First manga griacom she misery happy that are willing to join the association? ISIS, but remember the night agreed to join. Garcia asked me till out the application with almost deadpan face. Where did say that are so happy? Although hate people who are not punctual, but thesis common problem of most people after all can't feel the passage of time, can't hear it ticking. Read UT first manga.great.com. So for some special people it's not intolerable shortcomings, but one thing need to know is that although there are not many special people, they are not rare men. The huge based. If you don't cherish your uniqueness and make the best use of it, will be eliminated sooner or later. Is this telling me not to cause trouble? Go down after it. Read it first on manga.great.com. Doesn't this mean that the person with tube, the back of the head, see the signal of the circuit running behind the world? How about it? You believe it now? That is definitely not something that exists. Reality. It first on manga.great.com. Never doubted you. But your master is not as scary, said. What's the matter, master? She told Zealot of things about some special person and about some association that is artistic. About it manga.great.com. And said we're pleased with consent to join the society. As there really don't see that all. What are you talking about? When we're on the platform the master didn't speak. All do think blind. Didn't speak. First manga.great.com. Well, now that young seen all, please listen to me. The origin of erosion. The world is not flat but on membrane. This membrane has curvature. Layman's terms it presents arc. Raoul. E.A. Grage.com. Some places this change will be more pronounced if there are other worlds outside the world, then there will be possibility. One point the two worlds meet and this meeting is erosion. What is she talking about? Can't understand all. The overlapping membranes temporarily connect the two worlds. At first don't know how. Mang en great gom. This will affect the world over there. But for us the rules still apply. Energy diffuses from high to low, and creates series of incredible phenomena. Whether it is a martial artist or fallen demon, the power gained the awakened person is all. First manga great lacks head to this energy. What did you say? Power only belongs to me and has nothing to do with any bullshit. The Martial Arts Association think there in difference between sand fallen demons. Of course there is difference. We control it and the fallen cannot. It first on manga.great.com. Knowing that we are the early stages of superposition. Energy spreads further, there will only be more and more fallen. Its struggle for sure, and if we don't defeat the fallen, not only normal awakened people but also the human world will be completely destroyed. Them. It first on manga.great.com. Your Majesty, Your Excellency is still waiting for your reply. No, all of this read first man GA great room just does say. Yes, please take care Your Majesty. What do look bad? Well, looks okay. It's just that in Bean Days more recently isn't related to the erosion of the dream world at first. MangaGreat.com, those accidents the dream won't affect anything. Just that some things a little weird retrospect, nothing to worry about. This is the 4th day since left the dreamland. Although Fanti successful fully located the location, the association headquarters long failed to sneak into it first on MangaGreat.com of. The next game plans implemented smoothly after all the gods punishment witches go inland enjoy it. Once temporarily stop the connection with the dream. The next game plan is implemented smog read manga great. See after all the gods punishment witches go inland enjoy it once temporarily stop the connection the dream. Heck really fine, it's just that there are little more things to consider recently and body's little sleepy too, but do feel your words are at first on insincere manga. Could it be that and those witches the dream world? This is impossible. That sentence is true, just took them to expert fence different flavors of food. Also little worried won't be able to go to that world again, they're snowy at first on to protect you'll Margaret the time. And it will be troublesome if they suddenly attack you. Literally have been unconscious for hundreds of years and now have finally recovered will. Definitely want to resume all the feelings the past right. That's more than people how could be able to hold back when they swarmed. The more say the more outrageous is from whom did learn these ideas. Sophie can't put this energy into learning. I just mentioned it casually. If had your ability would surely rend me loudly that I from the beginning wanted to ask this lie. It first on lie manga great JCGM lie let lie right. Okay, admit it. But this is not me alone was asked someone else entrusted others entrusted by whom? We via? Come in read it first on MangaGreat.com. Your Majesty Iron reports to you. Very good, should already know the battle ran of Never Winter, right? Heard Brian roughly say but don't understand title. Asked Brian to take over task and stay Clearwater to protect Miss Echo, so who'll be charge of the Eastern Front. Brian still lacks expert once it first on MangaGreat.com Tissot problem to defend one place but is still prone to accidents to lead arm all the way alone. Your charge of the easy turn front army. That offense on the Western Front. Will direct myself. Read guest MNGA great JCOM. Today, test is here first have packed all your luggage. Tomorrow is the day of departure, don't leave anything behind. Have no extra clothes and nothing to bring. The way last time. Thank it first on for letting me manga greeter CGM know a talking about church news. If they're me would also want to go back and take look whether goodbye or a break. But let's not talk about that now, can't go on the road like this. It first on manga great negligence. Didn't notice that your clothes are all pale. While there is still time, let me take to the convince market and pick some clothes that fit you. But have no money at first on manga great.low cannot. Let me borrow yours. But one compared years from with tequilas now. Hundreds of years of waiting paresis short time isn't I? The subsequent battle of done will may not be so easy, end won't always be like this unless want it to be. After. What are you hesitating about? It first on Margaret, CGM. First menigacrete asterisk com. Follow you ist really all right. In been preparing for souling it doesn't matter if you take break. Besides this expedition is not all for fighting. Reddit first on manga great. Com propaganda also very important underscore for example tome familiar face front of even Roan. It's not easy to go to banquet without good woman your side. It first on MangaGreat.com. I once said that one day all the subjects of Grey Castle will know your name. Even if a witched. Even if my witch I want to be with you no matter what happens the future. Read it first on MangaGreat.com. Hey thesis, okay? Visit and this Mantua MangaGreat.com the translation MangaGreat.com. Thank if you enjoy faster please. MangaGreat.low release that taxi idea. Malopo do voodoo wife's forced to be coup demon queen the Vabsontiu. To the upper observation room. Full meeting. Yes, Your Majesty. Chichi be regal. Read as the second largest city, the central region after the old royal capital. It not only governs vast terry onyx but also has many nobles. It first on Margaret. Low. Afraid it won't be as quick. A live town week ago. We suggest that first summon Count Delta, the lord of Chi-Chi City first, and persuade High before issuing Decree 2. Although those nobles should are ready to know your intentions more or less afterward. If there are those who disobey, they directly send troops to clear them up. Read UT first on Margaret. Isn't there faster way? Well, Your Majesty, faster means don't want to spend too much time on this. There are still several comes the future. Read it first. Menga.com. If everything is handled like this, the time we Aaron Cold Wind Ridge, half of the Suma will probably be over. LSTKSS manga me. This _ there is way. It just might be bad for your reputation. Read first on Manga Great J.com. What do you think? Fun. Read it first on mangagrat.com. What did the letter say? For course first. MNMNER. Roland Wimbledon stripped the Lord of Wilware of all his powers. The same time they took their Neri TBB Masol their own. The new king. Did he really do that? Hell, then the purpose of his trip is really the precious news said to take back all tiles. It first thesis CNNGN passed down from grandfather's generation. But what we do, His Majesty Timothy is defeated, and the church is also defeated. Who else stop him? When the troops from the Western Territory came to Chi-Chi City last time, it's not like everyone hasn't seen how they fight within 100 steps. A weapon will kill if touch, and knight here armor cannot get close. This kind of force is not ours. All at first on mangagreat.com. We compete with them. Although the snow powder weapon is powerful, it is not without weaknesses. Needs open space to be used. The larger the space, the more amazing the power, but compress Sukis manga me into narrow environment is role very limited. Narrow Enron went such lord's castle. When Roland Wimbledon armed Chi-Chi City, he would definitely be the castle. Read first Mangreet J.com. There's no room for a few guards there, and along or get more of them in the odds will turn favor. Master Delta agreed to cooperate with you. With his temperament, how could he do such thing? Even if knife is put on his neck, he probably won't be able to raise the heart to resist. Read it first on CHNNG. But well, learned from the craftsman that many secret passages, the castle, are connected to the outer city. Just spread out the manpower and place them advanced. But thesis treason. And if Roland Wimbledon is killed, his army will cry us to pieces. To read it firstborn Megagrat. Who said they were going to kill him? We just need to control the situation and hold Roland hands. If the new king is not dead, his army will not dare toast recklessly and even force the opponent to withdraw as soon the news gets out. Those nobles will no doubt come to side once. Read UT first mine Great JCOM. Don't forget the place he actually controlled is only one pace the Western Territory. When the time comes for the reversal, whether the Duke of the North will stick to his side is still question mark. Read first MMIA.com. There are many benefits to be gained from this, right? What are we going to do next? Draw some trustworthy knights to follow first on command and mangngreat.com. The rest just wait. Visit and head this Mantua mangagreat.com. The translation. Thank you. If enjoy faster, please mangagreat.com. Release that exit died decoder Oda good wives. Forced to be coup demon Gucci, Mevasamnub. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. The new king's pomp really grand. How are getting ready? 51 people have already entered Iris markup. The fastest update Mage Guitsorg 2 more days. The rest be arranged. Pretty much the same here. Seems that there is still surplus of time, so the confirmation dance is even greater. He came? Who is this? Is Mantua fastest? Enga Greaturg update E. Thesis the owner of Rock Ridge, Earl George near. Thesis the owner of Rock Ridge, Earl George near. Salute joyous Your Majesty. Paneling is rich. Demand fruit wine with the most mellow taste. This Mantua fastest update. Anger Great Boog would be honor if you would honor. Isis, where is your term history? This time shouldn't the ATN made of the superior person show that the heart has been receded and will sit it when have time? Do still ask where territory is just to the east of Chi-Chi City. Walk 2 miles to the east from here under the first mountain sea is the territory of the Nazi family. The scenery there should be good. Hope cherish this Mantua fastest update at mangagreat.org. Yes, your Majesty. Don't go into the city and take rest tonight. There will be grand banquet the lakeside villa. Everything is goings panned. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. When the new king falls into hands, don't have to flatter me anymore. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. Would like drink? Thanks. Is there anything new to discover? The woman next to Roland was a bit weird. Don't think she's little too good looking. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. If it's sworn from Big Fancy, it is impossible not to have heard of the rumors. Did notice that to guess. She's probably witch. Bringing the witch to the banquet. Thesis undoubtedly another Excel-lent urinal evidence when the time comes for Roland. Totally. We'll have the final say on what to with that witch. Can't have told to yourself this Mantua fastest update. No one forget you old friend. Will definitely let enjoy yourself first pie ha 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 ha. This Mantua fastest update mangagp.org. Everyone please be quiet. His Majesty Roland Wimbledon has something to tell you. This Maria fastest update Mangia store. First of all, would like to thank the Earl for arranging this wonderful dinner and am very happy to see so people imp Ted to attend. If remember correctly, almost all the nobles around Chi-Chi City have armed. Right, this Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. All the images have armed except who are unwell, your Majesty. Good, taking this opportunity will tell straight. Starting today, Chi City, Tilda and the surrounding territories. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat. DRG, it'll belong to the King of Greencastle. It's me and will not be distributed the future. Other words, everyone present are no longer hereditary nobles. What this Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. This is not what was planned. Could be that Earl Delta has already been persuaded. Roland Wimbledon advanced. His Majesty. This decision is too much sudden. Quechua the fastest update mangagp.org. Needless to say, who will stand on the carriage of the time card go with me? And which ones will become stubborn stones that block the wheelman be crushed into powder? This Manhwa the fastest update no mangagreat_oct. Everything clearly. How did know about that? Because people's hearts. Your testability is easily demons treated as soon as you repeat what have said. Will we lately understand that no lie hide under thee? But have to say something first. If you don't repeat this Mantua fastest update mangagreat, or then it only is regarded as a crushed stone. This is obviously farce. How there be any art of observing? They don't worry. Look the situation first. Please listen carefully. The first sentence is fully agree with His Majesty Roland new policy. Willing to calmly cooperate. The officials sent over winter. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org fully agree with His Majesty Roland new policy. Pooch peep. Veil. No one is telling the truth. It's a bit regrettable but normal if it were me. This Mantua fastest update. AgeGreat.org itis estimated tattoos not so easy to come. Kinghood has been staying the border area of Greencastle all car round. Please continue. The second sentence, although you don't understand what His Majesty wants to do, however, fiefdom is not a must. Along those opportunities to expand wealth exist willing to Anita. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat, although you don't understand what your Majesty wants to do. Disable rights are not must either. Along those opportunities to expand wealth exist willing to them. The four of them were telling the truth. Being willing to is the qualification to get on the busy. The face of change. The courage to is the most valuable. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. Bothwell, don't the chance to get a yes, is your Majesty. Of courage qualifications, no kidding, these Gus are nothing but barons on the verge of failure. This Mantua fastest update mangagreat.org. Naturally there is nothing to be reluctant about. The land that cannot make ends meet to be able to Get the attention of the new king or... These people have already conspired with Roland Wimbledon come to cooperate with me to perform this absurd child spay. Next is the third sentence. Listen carefully, don't want to upland and power all. But the face of overwhelming force this Mantua fastest manga great.org don't even want to risk life. For them update. Now TT your turn, don't want to me fiefdom and powerwall. But the face of overwhelming force this Mantua fastest update manga great dog. Don't even want to risk life for them, don't want to let good ol. You? How about you this Mantua fastest update manga great. Org. Tell the truth, how this going? Are they all counted the new king? They should have been chosen provisionally. Nits imposable if Roland has been contact with so many people I can't be unaware. They should have been chosen prom signally. Obedience to power is not embarrassing this Mantua fastest update answer manga great from ancient times to the prep sent. The strength of power always been the basis for determining the order of human classes. Judging the situation is no less important than courage. Addition hereby promises that will not be treated differently from the first batch of nobles. As long as you keep today answer your if encounter swear problems the future think about the power have. The fourth sentence don't want to on either side and don't know how to choose this Mantua fastest update manj grodug don't want to on either side and don't know how to choose. There are fewer neutrals than thought. Hesitating and hesitating is not good quality, especially they of ever-changing was of change. Ahem, your majesty, we believe that you see through people's hearts, so let's stop here. Thesis welcome banquet after all. See this manage fastest update Meng Grituk. Next is the last sentence, but think should have guessed its content. Other words, the thoughts your hearts, that being the case let me sides myself any case do not want to hand over fief and power. This Mantua fastest update manga great. For this reason am I willing to risk. Along the king be brought down the fatly and wealth will surely last forever. It doesn't matter if you don't answer. Those who do not repeat do not have the qualifications to go with them again. This Mantua fastest update manga great, or your journey will stop here. What you mean that? They're in evidence and no trial do want to condemn us with just one sentence. This Mantua fastest update manga great.org. Your Majesty, if it's joke this enough, the last sentence is too serious, we cannot bear a Wimbledon fatly. So wrong, never thought of it that way. This Mantua fastest update manga greets off. Your Majesty, please be careful. If you have anything to say, stand talk to the shovel and the oar. For the crime of treason you'll be sent to the north slope me to serve years of hard labor. After all, everyone is still planning. Their heartland has not put it into practice, but tilde. If resist the act of treason becomes practical naturally, then no longer accommodate you. There is only one dead end for you. This Mantua fastest update manga great.org. Take them down. This guy absolutely insane. Do think we won't resist this Mantua fastest update manga great. Org. Just 6 guards, even if there are witches along them. They're in chance of winning against the noble, swearing the god's stone of retaliation. Plans change, just doit this villain. I not accept. If it's solid trial have nothing to say. But this child pay judgment. This Mantua fastest update manga great.org. Any true aristocrat would be hard pressed to obey your witch. Ness you for read me to do this. Laugh thesis also your last proud moment later itic only make. Ski can't. This manage fastest update mengeg peel zoog. Moo. How this be this Mantua fastest update manga great. Or, this menu fastest monster update. Monster. How mortal temper his body to Buchan extent. Your Majesty, let's go. Surrender. Could be this Mantua fastest at PD Bafe. Thesis the moment he's been waiting for. Thesis total trap BIC venue the fastest update Kanga great, or the scenery there should be good hope. Cherish it. He intentionally left the first army outside the city, accompanied only 100 guards and only brought 6 guards to the banquet. As long's the king be brought down, the family and wealth will last forever. Blindly tough, pretending not to see the situation clearly, does not people any room to back down. All these actions are just to lure us to act. Did you? ESIEC, at PDI. The mine no Roland Wimbledon had no intention of letting the remaining nobles Got. We catch him without fight, afraid he will only feel extremely disappointed. Your Majesty, the Leviathan family swears allegiance to you, will give you whatever want please. Forgive me this menu fastest update kegeg pitoog. Too late. The moment the weapon was drawn. Will this Mantua fastest update a manjagred.org destination is dead end. Ta tiara. Visit and read this manga great.org to the translation term.